this is the mess I have for starters. I haven't yet figured out how to get the MP3 player hooked up to the Arduino in such a way that I can actually output to it, because I'm still kind of figuring out the buttons, but as you can see, let me remove this here. I have two prototypes here, and hopefully I don't fry the one I really need, which is the skip button. But I took the button completely off for the pause play button, which is right there. And I have leads connected to the little sides where the connection would be. So there's 4 of them. I probably only need 2 of them, but I just figured I'd rather not have to solder later. And then for the other one, I left the push button on. That's the skip button. But I soldered leads to either side, which is hopefully all I need to do for that. And hopefully that'll stay with the hot glue there. So I've got some nice flexible leads connected to the back here so that I can plug the battery in on the breadboard and not have to worry about frying anything by leaving it connected or, you know, soldering or non-soldering. So there's the battery, and it's got the ground and the negative and the positive with matching colors for where it's supposed to connect on the MP3 player. So I think that's it for the soldering and everything that needs to be connected. And now we just need to figure out the code and where everything goes. Oh, and here's the accelerometer. Looks like an octopus, but with 7 legs. And I don't think you can read it from there, but there we go. Yeah, I've got leads soldered to each of those connections there. And I've done a lot of soldering and unsoldering on it, so I'm really hoping I didn't fry it. I don't know how easy that is to do, but my instructor was kind of wailing on it when he unsoldered the original connection that he had before he gave it to me, so I'm guessing it'll be okay. And if it's not, I probably won't post this video, so it won't matter to anyone watching anyway. So that's my accelerometer. It's an 80XL 335 with 3 different axes, although I think for my output I only need 1. And that's the hardware so far. Proud to call this one of those awe-inspiring moments for a mechanical engineering major who really doesn't know anything about code. Because I finally got this to do what I want it to do. All it took was a little faith in myself, which honestly I didn't think I'd get it figured out. So I took the pre-existing code for the accelerometer that I found online. I had to find the pins. As you can see, I've got the, well, you can't really see, but the X, Y, and Z spots on the accelerometer are connected to analog pins 3, 2, and 1. And then I've got the input connected to the 5-volt and the ground connected to the ground. Up here in the code, I've got the pins defined, X, Y, and Z for the analog pins. And then I've got an LED over here. And, well, that just came undone. I've got that connected to pin 9 on the Arduino, and also grounded on the other end with a resistor. I figured play it safe. So I defined pin 9 over here. Did a void setup. The serial print section over here is the one that I found online, and it's basically just telling it to print the code, or the values rather, spaced out side by side here. I don't know what those values represent in terms of gravity or whether they're just kind of arbitrary readings, but for the sake of my project I don't really need to know what they are as long as I can work with them. So the print was already there online, but I also set up the LED as the output, and then for the loop I set up a threshold of 400, so whenever the analog reading from the X pin is greater than the threshold, 400, because we're getting values close to there up on the screen, X being this column here, then the LED pin gets written to high, or turned on. And if it's not greater than 400, it goes off. So for the next step, when I actually put this together, hopefully I can make the button on the iPod, put it in the same spot as the LED. And I didn't think this would work, but lo and behold, I will show you. After I set it up. No, I don't need to. It is still plugged in. Okay. So, first let me show you. If I shake the Arduino down in the X direction, see it getting above 400. Okay, so you know that that's happening. And now when I shake it, it lights it up. Why? Because it's exceeding 400 in the direction I need it to. And it's not turning off because, well, it's frozen, but it works the way it's supposed to, I promise you. Let's try uploading it again, just to prove my point. And it's uploaded, serial monitor. Okay, running it again. Shake it, goes above 400. Shake it. At that moment, when it goes above 400, it blinks. So that's the first bit of preliminary tests going very well. Okay, well, I gotta say, I almost screamed when I figured out that this was actually working, because I didn't think I'd get it to work. But, guess what? It does. So, as before, we've got the accelerometer hooked up to the Arduino. I'm using the same code, but I changed the condition for the threshold to low and the other one to high, because if I'm not mistaken, I found the buttons to be what is it? Always closed? Always open. You know, I didn't really decide, but I tried it one way and it didn't work, and I tried another way and it did. Oh, yeah, because when I plug it in, it just fast forwards it. So, without doing anything, it's connected. But if you... No. So, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because it still works. Anywho, this spaghetti mess here. I can explain myself. I'll just flail the camera around while I figure it out. But, alright. As you can see, I've got my iPod. I've only got one of the buttons connected right now. I've got that right button. And one end is connected to the white wire, which is connected to pin 9. The other end is connected to the black wire, which is the ground. Alright, that being said, we've got the numbers scrolling as before. I wonder if I can turn this up and make this more obvious. Can you hear the music? Alright. I'm going to restart the screen here. Serial monitor. And it's rolling. So, there's the music. I'm going to shake it until we get a value of 4 something. Did you hear it change? Now we're going to look here so you can see the screen and you know. Shake it until a value of 4 something changes the song. I'm a genius. So here we have the almost finished result, sans casing. And I'll show you how it works. Got all the leads connected as before. And we've got this other piece of card separating the accelerometer. That is attached to the base. We've got the button pins where they need to go on the other side. Got the accelerometer plugged in. And this is all glued onto here with the iPod battery underneath glued on. And the pins easily able to plug into the Arduino. So that's what it looks like on the inside without the